Yeah, can you see my screen? Okay. All right, I'm going to introduce myself. Firstly, my name is Grace Lee. I'm 31 years old. And my nationality, I'm born in Korea, but raised in Australia. Do you know where Australia is? Have you been to, has anyone been to Australia? No? You haven't been to Australia?
I never there. I never go there.
Okay, I was born in Korea and I moved to Australia when I was 10 years old. When I was 10 years old. Some of my hobbies are playing piano, going for a drive, playing sports, swimming and tennis, and also like camping. Do you all understand me? Okay.
Yes.
That's good. This is a bit of myself. And now I'm going to show you our English lesson structure, what we're going to learn today. And also starting from today, I'll show you what we're going to learn. So if you have a look at my next slide. As you can see on the screen, so these are the plan for 2 sessions for our English class lesson plan. The first session, we're going to learn about the grammar. Do you know what grammar is? Okay, in our session 1, we're going to learn about nouns. And there are 4 different types of pronouns. There's subject, object, possessive, and reflexive pronouns. We're also going to learn about the verbs and adverbs and adjectives on our first session today. On our session 2, we're going to learn about sentence structure, how we make those sentences. Who's here can speak good English? If you could raise your hand, who can speak good English? Anyone from here can speak good English? No? If you have pen and paper, if you have a notepad, you can write down. It'll be very helpful. So you can also learn instead of watching. If you could get a pen and paper, write down what you're learning so you can go over again for our next session. Okay, right, now I'll show you I'll introduce to you about what is noun. Okay. Right, noun, we're going to learn about noun. Do you know what noun is? Does anyone have any idea what noun is? Noun, have you heard about noun? If you can't unmute your microphone, if you type on your group chat, if you could raise your hand, say you do know what noun is. Okay, I'll explain to you about what noun is. A noun is a word used to identify any of the class of people, places, or things. These nouns are very important when you make sentences, when you speak English. You use nouns to combine to construct a sentence structure. So there are examples of noun. If you have a look on the screen, you can see There's, I put examples of noun. So noun, so there's things naming people. So when you name people, it could be a name of any person. Example, it can be your name. So example, John, Michael, Olivia, Charlotte. It can be any names, naming people, naming yourself, your name as well. So it's a naming places. It could be a name of any place, example, America, or church, supermarkets, and so on. It's the name of the places. For example, it can be in Indonesia, Australia, China. It could be any name of the places. Do you all understand me okay? Good, okay. Also, the noun are naming things like car, hats, you know hats, bottle, table, or ball. It can be the name of the things, as I mentioned on the PowerPoint here. Also, examples of the noun can be things naming of animals. Do you know animals? Do you know what animal is? It can be dog, rabbit, elephants, a horse, a chicken. It can be names of the animals. Lastly, feeling, qualities, and ideas can describe, you know, your feelings, like you're happy, sad, upset, or angry. These are the words, although the feelings, you're joyful, or you're scared or fear, beauty, strength, or anger. So all these examples on this here on the PowerPoint, these are examples of noun. Naming people, places, things, animals, or feeling, qualities, and ideas. Do you understand okay? Do you understand what noun is? Okay, I'll continue. All right, these are example sentences. I put some examples. As you can see, I live in Australia. So when you have a look in this sentence, I live in Australia.
Yeah.
So Australia is the type of noun because it's the name of a place. Place, Australia. So you can see I've highlighted the words of noun. So I live in Australia. So Australia is the name of the places, naming places. So Australia is noun.
Example sense, I live in Australia and Jenny is my sister. I love to play with my dog. The name of this monkey is Apu. Pacific Ocean is very fast.
All right, next sentence. Jenny is my sister. So Jenny is a name, isn't it? So name, Jenny, is an example of noun. So it's a name of a person. Jenny is my sister. Jenny is a noun.
Jenny is my sister. Jenny.
If we go to a next sentence, I love to play with my dog. Do you know dog? An animal dog. So dog is the naming of the animal. So dog, in this sentence, dog is a noun.
I love.
Right, next sentence. The name of this monkey is Abu. Abu is the name of the monkey. So we say Abu is noun. You can see in this sentence, Abu is noun. It's a naming of an animal. Right, next sentence. Pacific Ocean is very vast. Pacific Ocean as you've watched the dance, the day dance, it's from Pacific Ocean. So Pacific Ocean is a name of a place. So Pacific Ocean, I've highlighted here. This is the noun, naming of a place. Do you all understand me? Okay, do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yes, that's good. Okay. All right, if you go next slide. Okay, I wrote down some of the sentences for you to read and write down the nouns. So I put 10 sentences here, so you can see, and then you need to find out what is noun in these sentences. Would you like to have a go? If you have pen and paper, you can write down what nouns are in this sentence.
Rose.
You don't need to write down, you can just have a look, read. Okay, number 1, there is a bouquet of lovely roses on the table. So what are some of the nouns here in this sentence? What are the nouns?
Bill.
There is a bouquet of lovely roses on the table. So what are the nouns in this sentence?
Roses and table.
That's right. Who was that speaking?
Nyalain suaramu.
Nouns roses on the table.
Yeah, roses on the table. Roses, table. That's right.
Yeah.
Well, we go to number 2. The bear loves to eat honey. So what are some of the nouns in this sentence?
The bear loves to eat honey. Noun is
So bear, honey. Bear and honey, these 2 words are nouns.
eat honey.
All right, if we go to number 3,
Number
Emily
3,
will go to the market
some
to buy
snacks.
some snacks. Can you find nouns in these
Some
sentences?
snacks.
Yep,
some
Emily.
Emily.
Yeah, that's correct. Emily. Market.
Market.
Snacks.
Snacks.
These 3 words in this sentence, there are nouns. They call nouns. Well done. Emily.
Emily.
Market. Snacks.
Emily.
These 3 words are nouns. All right, if you go to number 4, Dorothy drinks a cup of milk every day to stay fit. What are the nouns in this sentence?
Dorothy.
That's right, Dorothy. Who said Dorothy? Can you raise your hand? Who said Dorothy?
Dorothy.
Dorothy, that's right. Good. Dorothy. Anything else? Can you find a noun in this sentence?
Dorothy drinks a meal. Meal.
Okay, there's milk. That's right. Milk.
Meal.
Milk.
Yeah.
Dorothy. Cup.
Dorothy.
These are 3 words. These 3 words are nouns. Well done. Right, we go to question 5. I have bought a pretty blue dress. What are the nouns in this sentence?
I am blue dress.
That's right. I print blue dress. That's right, blue dress. Well done. Right, number 6. The Smiths are going to Switzerland next week. What are some of the nouns in this sentence?
Smiths and Switzerland.
Switzerland, that's right. Who was that? Can you raise your hand? Who said the answer?
Sylvia, Miss.
Oh, that's right. Okay, well done. Well done. All right, number 7. I
I
like
like these beautiful flowers.
flowers.
That's beautiful
What
I
are the
am
nouns in
flowers.
this sentence here, number 7?
Flowers is nouns.
I like that's beautiful.
Flowers.
Flowers,
Flower.
that's right. Flowers, flowers, this is the
Flower.
name. Yeah, flower is the noun in this sentence.
Flower.
The
Going
dog
very
is
good.
barking.
Right, number 8, the
Dog is
dog
barking.
is barking.
Dog.
Dog is barking.
Dog barking.
Dog, that's right,
Dog is
dog.
the noun.
The name of an animal, isn't it? Dog,
Barking.
noun. All right, number 9, she played with her brother.
Here.
Brother.
Brother, that's right. Well done, brother. All right, number 10. Tom wants to buy some candy.
Tom
Dog.
and candy.
Tom and candy. Well done. Very good. Tom and candy. Do we all understand what noun is now?
Yes, I understand.
Yeah, what noun is?
Okay.
I'll go back to the slide again
On.
before we go move on. So noun. You can also write it down if you have pen and paper. The naming people, places, things, animals, or feelings, or ideas. Okay? All right, we'll move on. Okay.
Pronoun.
All right, there's pronoun. There are nouns. And there's 4 types of pronouns.
And
Right,
now.
we're going to learn about
Pronoun.
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 Okay,
Pronoun.
pronoun is a word that can
That can
function as a
function as a
noun,
noun.
phrase used by itself, and that refers either to the
Either to the
participle
participle
and the
tense.
discourse.
That
For example, I,
I
you,
you.
to someone, something
Something
mentioned
mentioned.
elsewhere in the discourse. For example, she ate obese.
you are to someone or something. Apa tuh? Where in the discourse.
Okay, to someone or something mentioned elsewhere in the discourse.
Something.
We'll move on. I'll show you some examples of pronouns.
Oh,
Okay, so these are the pronouns. There are 4 different types of pronouns. There's the subject pronouns, object pronouns, possessive, subjective, possessive pronouns, and reflexive pronouns.
Reflexive pronouns.
Subject
So we go
pronoun,
I,
object pronoun,
I,
subject
I.
pronouns we're going to learn today.
I,
You,
you, he,
she, it, we, you, and they. They. Yeah, I, you, he, she, and they. Right. So today we're going to focus on subject pronouns.
Oh, yang mau ada 2, ada 3.
Okay, we'll read through subject pronouns. Me,
him,
you,
him,
her,
you,
it,
and them.
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 Okay, we go to possessive adjectives. My,
Your,
his, her,
Your, their.
its, our, your, their. Some of the possessive pronouns here. Mine, say mine. Yours, his, hers, ours, theirs. Alright, some of the reflective pronouns here. Myself,
Yourself.
yourself,
yourself,
himself, herself,
yourself,
itself,
Yourself.
itself,
ourselves,
ourselves,
yourselves,
yourselves,
and themselves.
and themselves.
Well done. Are we all familiar with these words? You will use these to use in our sentence structure. So, for example, what sentence can you make with I? You can use I go to school, I go to sleep. What else? I.
I,
I play my mobile phone.
Yes, I play my mobile phone. Great. Does anyone like to volunteer? I.
You,
What sentence can you make using I?
my, your, his,
Okay, we go jump onto you. You.
it,
How are you?
your,
Do you go to school? What can you make a sentence using the word you?
mine, yours, his,
He goes to school.
not as it, ours,
He likes going for a drive.
theirs.
He's. Okay, where do you use he for male, isn't it? He is
Hey.
used to describe a male. He is for a male.
Hey,
How about she? She is used for a female.
She,
Girl, for a girl.
she,
Yeah, he for male, she
Her,
for female,
her,
she for girl. So use the word she, girl, female.
we, us, it, we, us,
Okay, I'm going
our,
to explain to you about the singular and plural on our next session. I'll move on with the pronouns as we are aware of these words here. They're shown in the PowerPoints. Okay, these are some of the pronouns example sentences.
look at Mike. Mike is a good boy.
Look at Mike. Mike is a good boy.
Study. Mike is
Mike
a good boy.
Mike loves to study.
Love
Mike
is
is good at
study.
skating.
Study.
So Mike, is it a boy or a girl?
look at Mike. Mike is a good
Mike is a boy, isn't it? Boy.
Mike is a boy.
Yeah, that's right. So instead of Mike,
Mike,
we
Mike.
can use the word he.
he,
He.
Hey,
Mike.
That's
Is
right.
not he.
Okay, now read these sentences again.
He is
Look
a
at
good
Mike.
boy.
He is a good boy. So instead of using his name
good
again,
boy.
Mike, we can say
Mike.
he. Look at Mike. He is a good boy.
hey,
Good
he is
boy.
a
The
good
boy.
boy.
He is a good boy. That's correct.
He is a good boy.
That's correct. He
Number
loves to study.
hey, love
He is
study.
good at skating.
He is
He
Mike
is good
loves to
at
study.
He,
Yep. So instead of using Mike, again, over
Mike.
again, we can use the
Mike.
word he. He
Hey,
Yes.
for a male, for a boy.
hey for my.
Yeah, he. So instead of using Mike,
Mike.
use the word he.
Mike.
So he's
Mike.
a good boy. He loves to study.
He loves
good at
to study.
skating.
He is
good at
a
skating.
good at
He
Do you know
loves
what study is? Study? What
Belajar.
study? Do you know study?
Belajar.
Study. So you study.
Study
You go to
belajar.
school, you study at school.
Study
So
belajar.
you study English. So you're studying English.
In Indonesia is belajar.
Yeah.
Liam.
Skating. Do you know skating? The word skating? Skate?
Yes, I
Do
know.
you know the word skating? Good.
Yes,
Yeah.
Right.
sure.
So are you familiar with the pronouns here? Do you all understand about the pronouns? So you can use the word he for Mike, because he's a boy.
What up,
For
Mike?
example, it can
Mike
be a
is a
name
good
of a girl.
boy. Loves to study. Mike is good at
So
skating.
for example, we say Emily at Emily.
Instead of my
Emily.
Emily is a girl, isn't it? Is Emily a girl? Emily is a girl.
Emily.
Is a girl. So
Yeah.
what word do you use to describe Emily?
She.
She. That's right. She. So if you look at Emily. Emily is a good girl.
Mercy.
Emily, she.
We can change Emily.
Yeah, we can
Becomes
change to Emily. We can change to Emily to name of a girl. It can be any name. So it can be Mike, Emily, it can be your name. You can put your name. So we use Mike for he because he's a boy. Emily is a girl. So we use the word she.
She.
In a subject pronoun.
Yeah.
So the word he takes the place of Mike and is called the pronoun. So you can use the word he for a male, she for a female, for a girl. Do we all understand?
Yes, I
Yeah, well
understand.
done. Very good. Okay.
Subject pronoun, second place.
Okay, if you have a look at the sentence.
Subject pronouns.
Okay, this is the one I explained before, the subject pronouns. A subject pronoun takes the place of a noun. So we've learned the noun in the beginning, didn't we?
It's good.
So noun is the naming of a place or a thing. So a subject pronoun takes the place of a noun. So if we have a look in the sentence,
Book is
I
good.
am reading a book.
It is
It
good.
is good.
I'm reading a book. It is
So
good.
book is a thing, isn't it? A thing. So if we go
A
back
book
here,
is a name. It
so
is a
it
subject.
here on the subject pronoun on the third thing to describe the
Subject
book.
pronoun.
So eat. So if we
Eat.
go here, I'm
Books
reading a
pronoun.
book.
Books pronoun.
It is
Book
good.
is, yeah, that's right. So
I'm
you
reading
change the
some
noun
books.
to a
They are
pronoun.
good.
It is good. So
I'm
use the
read-
word eat.
Book.
I am reading a book. It is good.
It is good.
It is good.
John works
Do you know
for
what
a
reading
book
is?
for
Reading?
a
Do
big
you know
company.
reading? The definition of reading?
Rating.
Reading. That's right. Reading a book. Or you can read a
Reading
newspaper.
is book.
Reading.
Reading a book,
Right? Reading a
membaca
book.
buku.
Reading a
Reading is book.
newspaper.
Membaca sebuah buku.
Yeah, you can read.
Membaca buku.
Membaca buku.
If you have a look at the next sentence here, I am reading some books. So
I
this is
I
plural.
am
Aku
reading
Some
some book.
Books. There are
Aku
many books.
membaca beberapa buku.
So we use the word
Books.
they are good.
They are
They
good.
are good.
They are good. Do you know why we use they? Do
They
you know why we use
Are
they?
good.
Subject pronoun.
Yeah, pronoun, that's right. Some books. It's a plural.
Some
There are
books.
many books. Not just
Yes.
one book. There are many books. So we use the word they because it's many. They.
Some.
They are good. Okay, the next sentence, if you have a look,
John
John works for a big
for a
company.
big company.
He is a manager. So
Manager.
John
It is a
is the
manager.
name of a male, isn't it? It's a boy. John is a boy. He's a male. So John works for a big company. He is a manager. So John, like I mentioned
John
before
bekerja
here,
di sebuah perusahaan besar. Dia adalah seorang manajer.
yes, Mike is a boy, isn't it? It's a male. So we use the word he. John works for a big company. He
John
is the manager.
works.
So
He is
instead
a
of putting
manager.
John, if we put Emily, it becomes a female, isn't it? So what do we use here then? Emily works for a big company.
I work
She is
for
a manager.
She is a manager, that's right. So we change the word to she because Emily is a girl, is a female. So we say she is a manager.
Yes.
That's right. Well done. Okay, if we have a look at the last sentence, John
John
and
and
I
I work
work for a big
for a big
company.
company. We are
We
managers.
are managers. That's right. So John and I, how many people are there? There
We
one
are
or two?
2 people.
There's 2 people. That's right. So 2 people, John and I, 2 people work for a big company. So we
So
use
we
the
can
word
it
we.
become we.
Yes, becomes we because there's 2 people, John and I, so we call we. How about the word day? Do you know the word day?
Day. Day. Subject pronouns.
Subject pronouns. There's day. That's correct. That's right.
Dia kan tadi ngomong.
Plural.
OMG.
Do we all understand? Do you know what noun and pronouns are? Do you all understand now?
Yes.
Yes? Well done.
Understand.
Okay, so I'll ask you a question. What are nouns? What do we learn about nouns? What are nouns?
Semua.
Is a word used to identify
Identify.
any of a class, such as people, and etc.
That's right. Okay, we'll go back to it again.
Nouns.
Naming people.
Nouns words used to identify the end of a class of people, place or
Places
things.
or things. Yeah,
Yes.
that's correct. So you can be, I said, like I've said before, naming people, yourself. Naming yourself, places, things, animals,
Yes.
all these are nouns. Okay? We're all saying nouns. What are nouns are? To describe a class of people, places, or things.
Places.
That's right. Okay, the pronouns. Do we all know what pronouns are?
Pronouns.
Yeah, pronouns.
Pronouns.
Pronouns are the noun phrase used by
A
itself.
word that can function as a noun phrase used by itself.
Me, my, mine, myself, you, or she, or he, ours, yours. We're going to learn about this, more about your sentence structure in the next session.
Next.
Are we all clear about nouns and pronouns? All good, yeah? Okay,
Sure.
okay, that's good. Well done. Okay. Do we all
Sure.
have pen and paper? Do you have pen and paper you can write down, or pen and paper? Do we all have pen and paper you can write down? Do you have any
Next slide. Next slide.
fine? Oh,
Okay.
where did this slide disappear here? Okay. Okay, with the subject pronouns. Okay, we're going to learn about the verb. Do we all know about the verb?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, you know the verb. Okay, what are verbs? Do you know verbs?
Verb itu kata kerja.
Next.
Pronouns.
Next slide.
Oh, sorry, hang on, my slide.
Once again, Miss Grace.
Yep, okay, hang on a minute.
Mungkin muncul kamu.
Halo, selamat siang teman-teman semuanya yang belajar bahasa Inggris. Semangat ya.
Iya.
Apanya semangat nggak ngerti?
No problem. Pokoknya dengar-dengar aja dulu.
Aduh, masa dengarnya dari subjek predikat sementara anakku masih SD, Pak.
Ini kan kelas.
ABC aja belum.
Ini
Halo
kelas
semua,
kuliah,
apakah kita semua menikmati pembelajaran kita siang hari ini? Ya, memang semua segala ada yang memang kita tercampur dari satu dengan yang lain. Kadang ada merasa agak susah, ada yang bisa merasa gampang begitu. Tetapi semakin banyak kita belajar bersama-sama, pasti kami akan menemukan sesuatu yang untung dan kebaikan dari kami. Ada yang beberapa yang masih belum bisa ngerti. Ada yang sudah menganggap gampang ini, tetapi kita terus maju. Akhirnya pasti akan menemukan sesuatu yang hal yang terbaik. Baik semua, sudah bersedia?
Siap.
Baik, terima kasih banyak. Sebentar lagi, lagi kami guru. Ya. Jadi hari ini kita belajar bagaimana panggilan dan bagaimana mengucap aku, kamu, apa yang lain-lain. Anda sudah bisa paham ya kan? Oke, baik, terima kasih banyak. Nah, sebentar lagi kami akan lanjut. Jadi,
Okay, sorry, I had an internet connection problem. Sorry, I'm back. Sorry.
No problem, Miss Grace.
Thank you for understanding. Thank you.
Enggak, ini punya.
Thank you. All right, we'll go next to a slide.
Bapak-bapak tadi.
We'll learn about the verb. Sorry, I'll share the screen.
baik, kita lanjut pembelajaran sama gurunya. Baik, terima kasih. Kita lanjut. Yes.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Belum bisa.
Yes.
Verb lagi.
Verb. Verb.
Okay, sorry about that. Had a internet connection problem. Okay, so the verb. Okay, last session we're going to learn about the verb.
Bekerja. What you said to describe.
A word used to describe an action, state,
Age, occurrence,
and form
forming the main
of
part
the predicate of a
predicate
sentence,
sentence,
such as
here,
become,
or happen. So verb is a doing word. Doing, you're doing something, a verb. So what's an example of verb? It's a doing word. So you're doing something. A word to describe an action.
Action.
Something's happening, occurrence.
Verb. Action.
I know. I
Example of
know.
a verb.
No.
yes, I know.
It's a doing word. So for example,
For example, go and gone,
going and gone, going. So I'm
Go.
going.
Gone.
wash,
I'm eating bread, or I'm eating rice. Eating is a word. To describe verb, a doing word. Driving. Do you know driving? I'm driving
Yes.
a car. Driving.
drive,
Drive. Going for a drive is a verb. It's a doing word. So you're going for a drive. Driving is a doing word. What else? Examples are there for a verb. Doing word.
Was.
Doing word. Driving. Eating.
the
Jumping.
example,
Jumping. Dancing. These are all the doing words.
drawing,
Drawing. Or painting.
Drawing.
watch, watching,
That's right, watching.
watching on EXO concert,
Yeah, you're going for a concert, going for a concert. Yeah, doing word. You're for a concert. Yeah, singing. That's right, singing, dancing.
singing, dancing.
Yeah, dancing,
Playing,
jumping,
playing.
driving.
Playing
Reading.
That's right, playing.
Play,
and many others.
And many others. There are many others doing work.
Driving.
So next week, in our session 2, we're going to learn more about the verbs. Like I've mentioned in the beginning. About the verbs, there are 2 different types of adverbs. There's verbs and adverbs. And we're going to learn about the adjectives on our next session.
adjective.
Adjectives, that's right. Adjectives. If I move on further, it might be confusing. Be very confusing for you. So I'm going to ask you to be familiar with nouns and pronouns, what we learned today. In our verbs. In our next week, we're going to learn more about the adverbs and adjectives and how we put these into sentences. We're going to make a sentence using these nouns, pronouns, and verbs. Adjectives. We're going to make a sentence next week.
Kan lagi.
So before I end this session, our first session, we've learned about noun. If anyone could tell me the nouns, anyone would like to volunteer what noun is?
Okay.
Noun is a word used to identify any of class
yeah.
of people, place, animals.
These are things.
Of things, name of the things, that's right. Well done. So if you have a pen and paper, you can write down the names of the nouns. You can construct a structure. You can make a structure into a sentence. If you write down the names, you'll be familiar with the nouns and the pronouns you've learned today. And also, how about pronouns? Does anyone remember what pronouns are? Pronouns. What was the pronoun?
Pronouns.
Pronouns.
Yeah. Do you remember what pronoun was? So noun was the naming of a place or a name or things. How about the pronoun? Do you remember what pronoun was?
Examples.
All right,
naming.
pronouns. Yeah, that's right. You go back to the pronouns.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So pronoun was a word that can function as a noun. So I, you, my, he, or she, wasn't it? Pronoun. These are the pronouns. And lastly, the verb. What was the verb? Do you remember what verb was? A verb?
Is a word that describes what I do.
Yeah, what describes what you're doing, a doing word. And the occurrence, the forming, yeah, that's right. They're parts of the showing that what you're doing, a doing word. So I'm going to school, like dancing, jumping, driving.
Watching.
All these are verbs. Okay, so I'm pretty sure you're familiar with all these nouns, pronouns, and verbs. Are we all familiar with these? So we can move on into our next session, and we're going to learn about adverbs and adjectives and how we put this into a sentence in structure. Structure sentence. Are we all clear? Do we all understand? Am I speaking okay? Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm not going too fast for you.
Oh, itu apa sih, Biklang?
Does anyone like to volunteer to ask me a question? Does anyone have any questions like to ask?
Ania.
No questions, you all understood? Yeah, understand what I've say. Are we all clear of what I'm?
Balik lagi.
Nouns, pronouns, and verbs we learned today.
I have understand it.
Okay, you all understanding? Good. Yep, you're okay. Understanding.
Yes,
Can you
I understand.
Okay, you understand. Okay. So if you have any questions while I'm going, explaining to you about these sentence structures, if you have any questions, feel free to raise your hand. Say, I don't understand, or so I can explain it to you. Or you can type in the group chat if there's any questions you'd like to ask me. You can feel free to drop down. You can write down
Nothing.
the group chat.
Nothing, miss.
In the group chat, and if there's any questions or you're like, did you enjoy today's English class? Was it okay?
Nothing.
Was it okay today? You were okay? 저희 홍교사님 계신가요?
네네.
네네네. 일단 제가 이렇게 진행을 했는데 좀 어떠셨는지, 이해하셨는지.
네, 한번 물어보겠습니다.
네네.
Halo semua, apakah pembelajaran bahasa Inggris hari ini senang? Bisa dibantu?
Agak susah.
This is good.
This is good.
This is good. Agak susah di itu apa contoh.
Contohnya agak susah.
Contoh
I don't think so.
kalimat apa?
예, 보통 좋은 것 같고 예를 좀 들어주시는 게 어렵다는 저런 사람도 조금 있고.
네네.
네.
Mungkin
Don't speak in Korean.
mungkin suara pesertanya dimute aja, Pak. Kalau mau dibuka sendiri. Jadi suara enggak jelas.
제가 이렇게 일단 설명을 했는데 좀 이해가 되는지 아니면 좀 많이 어렵나요?
Mas diam kau.
여기 뭐 아이들도 있고 어른들도
I
있고.
know.
Miss, please speak in English.
Okay, I was asking if you were okay with the
Nama
if you
saya
will understand what I
Nadia.
explained,
Nama
what I
saya
told you
Nadia.
today.
Yes.
Was it okay? You're able to understand?
Yep.
Host, please all participants be mute
Saya tinggal di
because noisy.
Oke, baik semua saya ingin tanya sama guru, sama saya ingin tanya apakah kelas-kelas bahasa Inggris siang hari ini masih oke ya, masih oke dan bisa paham. Agak ada beberapa yang susah, ada yang beberapa yang baik. Jadi kiranya ya cukup oke. Ya, dan itu kalau Bapak Ibu dan saudara-saudara adik-adik bisa kasih saran, ya, bisa chatting, nanti kami akan hitungkan dan mempersiapkan selanjutnya. Oke? Sementara saya akan matikan suara dulu. Kalau ada yang ingin bertanya, dan silakan membuka mikrofon dulu dan silakan bertanya dalam bahasa Inggris, nggak apa-apa.
Halo.
I know. No. Hey.
Halo.
Udah yang mau
Ya,
dulu.
halo.
Daripada Veston.
Ya, silakan.
Itu apa namanya kalau bisa dikasih contoh-contoh gitu, kalimat-kalimat sederhana.
그래서 예를 좀 더 이제 그 문장에 대해서 예를 좀 더 들어주시면 좋을 것 같아요. Okay, thank you. And then,
Ya, baik.
is there anyone else? 선생님 소리가 잠깐 죽어 있습니다.
Pak,
I know, Pak. Saya udah baca.
aja dulu Pak, jangan
I know. Udah.
yang nanya di rumah aja karena berisik Pak.
Habiskan
Jadi nggak
wani ini Yono. Pak, cuman yang itu wani itu Pak.
Anyone like to ask any more questions? I'll give you more examples next week. I'll give you more examples about the verbs next week because I thought I wanted to know first the level of your English. There are also young kids that are here. So I wanted to follow the, the pace to make sure everyone's keeping, what I'm trying to teach. So I didn't want to go too fast because I can see there's few the kids that are here as well, some few students.
Baik, terima kasih. Guru berkata minggu depan akan dia mempersiapkan contoh-contoh yang lebih banyak biar kita bisa memahami melebihinya. Ya, dan terus ya semoga kita bisa menghadiri lagi. Tak ada pertanyaan silakan catat di WA group sama di chatting ini biar nanti saya akan siapkan bahannya juga. Baik.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
You're welcome, very welcome, and I'll see you next Saturday. Now session 2.
Bless you. God bless you.
Thank you, Miss.
Thank you.
God bless
Thank
you.
you very much for today. Thank you very much. I'll see you next week.
Terima kasih, Pak. Terima kasih.
Oke, baik semua. Terima kasih banyak untuk menghadiri pembelajaran bahasa Inggris yang pertama dari Special Youth Association. Terima kasih. Tolong meminta Bapak, Ibu, Saudara-saudara, adik-adik tolong tepuk tangan kepada gurunya kita. Ya, mengucap terima kasih padanya dari Australia, jarak jauhnya dia memberi waktu untuk belajar bahasa Inggris kepada kami. Sekali lagi kami mengucap terima kasih, thank you kepada guru Grace. Dan minggu berikutnya dia akan mempersiapkan kalimat-kalimat yang lebih gampang dengan banyak contoh biar kita semua bisa memahami. Ya, dengan saya bisa memberi pengumuman saya untuk dan pemahaman ini, saya sengaja tidak menerjemahkan dalam bahasa Indonesia karena seperti yang tadi saya memberitahukan awalnya, dengan pengalaman saya belajar bahasa asing, saya juga bisa aku ini sendiri orang Korea, tapi kita bisa berbahasa Indonesia sama Inggris. Setahu saya dalam pembelajaran bahasa-bahasa asing lebih baik kita tidak pakai bahasa asalnya. Dan walaupun sedikit kurang bisa paham, tapi terus mendengarkan dan berusaha menggunakan bahasa tujuan kita, akhirnya itu menjadi lebih bagus, lebih untung daripada kita semua. Jadi semoga kita paham semuanya dan walaupun sedikit kita berusaha mengikuti, akhirnya kami akan memperkuatkan dan menguasai bahasa Inggris selanjutnya. Bapak, Ibu, Saudara-saudara, adik-adik sudah bersedia? Sudah pahamnya kan? Nah, minggu depan, sekali lagi minggu depan jam 10 pagi, siang waktu Indonesia Barat, kita ketemu lagi dengan alamat Zoom yang tetap sama ini. Tolong kasih tahu kepada teman-teman, adik-adik yang lain-lain, biar kita bersama-sama bisa belajar semuanya. Terima kasih banyak. Terima kasih banyak. Ya, 수고하셨습니다.
Thank you.
Sama-sama,
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everybody. See you next week.
Thank you, Pastor Lee. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
See you next week.
Thank you.
감사합니다.
감사합니다. Thank you. Bye.
고마워. 고마워, Miss Grace Lee.
You're welcome. Thank you. See you next week. See you next time.
감사합니다.
Don't forget we have next class next